Okay, I'm going to take you through downloading a web server onto your machine. What it is it contains a lot of programs which I shall show you shortly. First of all, let's start Google Chrome or whatever web browser you're using. And if you have a web server working, then if we type in localhost, there we go. If we type in localhost, if it is working, you will see some web pages, your web pages. If you don't have a web server working, then it will say site can't be reached. If that's what you've got, then best place to go is to look for something called ZAMP, X-A-M-P-P, excuse me, download, and look for this site, apachefriends.org. That's probably the best place. Now, I can't download it onto this machine because this is an old machine. It works on this machine, but the files are no longer available to download onto old 32-bit machines. So really this is only going to work for sort of Windows 8 and 10 upwards. So let's take a look. So this is what we've got. Download ZAMP for Windows. Introduction to ZAMP. If you want to click on the video, and it will give you some sort of introduction to it. But there are lots of programs within ZAMP. So if I just click on this, okay, as we can see it's downloading. It's not going to install on my machine because I've only got a 32-bit machine, not a 64-bit one. But basically what you need and what you get are a lot of programs. I'm just looking around here because I saw it earlier where it gave us a lot of information on what the actual programs were. This looks like a different website. So this is what you're going to get. PHP, which is necessary. Apache, that is your web server. MariaDB, that is your database. Perl, which is a language rather like Python. We're not going to bother with that at all, and it's for Unix only anyway. And you get PHPMyAdmin, which will help you talk to your database. So if you double click on the installer, once it's installed, you can either double click on the downloader or show it in the folder. Once it's loaded, you can double click on this and it will install ZAMP on your machine. So I'm going to assume that you have done that. And if you have done that, what you will get is, let me just close these down, you will get in your start menu all programs. You might have to look for it. It might be called WAMP Stack. I don't know what they're calling it these days. Or ZAMP, right at the bottom there. If we open it up, this is what you're looking for, the ZAMP control panel. And if you click on that to start it, a little icon will appear right in the bottom right hand corner, telling you that your control panel is there. And what you need to do, oh, and there we go, it's already working from localhost, but that hasn't given me the control panel that I wanted. There we go, it's already started them up for me. So let's assume I've stopped both my web server, my Apache, and my database, and if I refresh my localhost now, that will say it's not working. There we go. So I need to start both of these when I log on. So start Apache and start MySQL. And the minute you start those two and they go green, you have got a working web server. So you should refresh. You should get the dashboard, and that is your web server working. Now, you don't want this dashboard to pop up every time you type localhost. You can change everything you want, but you need to look for where the files are actually stored. So I'm going to go to my file manager. Seems to be incredibly slow. I'm going to go to computer, local disk, into the Zamp folder, and htdocs. That is the same area as you would get if you were in school and you had your web. So htdocs is your web, and inside there you can put all of your files and your folders or your websites. As you can see, I've got quite a few. I've got one that emulates what we do at school, so this would be your area. The dashboard that you're looking at, this here, would be inside this folder, and I've got a few other there we go, the Jabberwocky files and folders in here. Now once you've done that, you've got a working web server. So if ever you type localhost and it doesn't work, you need to start up the control panel, and then you need to click start on Apache and MySQL. Nothing else, don't worry about anything else. And we don't play with these buttons over here, not yet, not until you're actually familiar with it. So that's how to install and run your web server.